This is the Going to the Endzone Podcast.
Welcome to this week's Going to the Endzone Podcast. Sectional Championship Week, always a special week. Jack Burney, Coach Crabtree, Nicole Christine, Grant Pugh. Guys, what an exciting time to have sectional championship in Wabash Valley. Coach, we're Jack. You guys have a big game here Friday night.
Yeah, we're pretty excited too. It's been a minute since we've played this deep into the playoffs, and the goal is always to play in November. So here we are.
What does that mean to get an extra week with your kids and a chance to do something that hasn't been done in a few years, which is the ultimate win a sectional?
Yeah, so the way you said that is exactly the way we feel about it. Trophies are nice, titles are nice, but really it's about just playing as long as you can with the people that you love, and maximizing every ounce of football you can get during the fall. Because when it's over, it's like a long death. The off season is just you're waiting to be reborn, and it takes forever. So,
Coach, obviously we were here earlier this year. We talked to you earlier this year. Just how much growth have you seen in this team? You guys are playing your best football. I mean, the performance on Friday, 50 points, 5 touchdowns from Jerome and Cody, who we're going to hear from in a little bit on the podcast. Just what growth have you noticed in this year's Falcons team?
You know what? First, I love the fact that they've embraced some of the things we talked about during the offseason. It's easy to have a mantra at the beginning of the season, and maybe you struggle and that goes by the wayside. But they've all year they've been very concerned with playing as hard as they can, being unselfish. That's something I love about this group is the selfishness is out the window, and just trying to be physical. And I've seen it develop throughout the year. We have gotten better throughout the season. It's hard to believe this is I think the 14th week since the start in August. And it's long, but then it flies by when you're at the end of it.
So we heard from some of the players just that mentality of the team over the individual. Cody saying that, touchdown dances, no, it's all business until the final whistle blows. That's got to be great to hear from your guys.
Yeah, it is. And dang near choked me up over there listening to it because, it's been a mantra of ours, team and taking care of business. And this group's done such a great job of that. And the way they're unselfish is remarkable for, a group of kids this age, and I couldn't be more proud of that.
Coach, your opponent this week needs no introduction, but certainly what impresses you about, one of the best teams in the state, but the good news is they're coming here on Friday night. What impresses you about Martuga?
First of all, their quarterback, Gordon, he's phenomenal. He could play at any level in the state of Indiana. He's playing in Class 1A, but he could climb the ladder to 6A. I don't doubt that for a second. He's tremendous, but he's not. It's not a one-man show. They're talented all over the place, and their coaching staff has done a nice job of building that program over the last couple of years because they haven't traditionally had the kind of success they're having right now. But it speaks to the work that they're doing and just a bunch of good football players.
Coach, I mean, you kind of said it when you were answering Nicole's question, but you said you're proud of this team. Just how proud you are, especially the seniors. We just had Jerome and Cody on, 2 seniors that have meant so much to this program. How proud of you of this senior class? And, you still have a couple of opportunities, one more opportunity at least to, coach them. I know that's got to feel good too.
Yeah, it does. I feel like sometimes they play above their capabilities. If you looked at our roster, you wouldn't be impressed by a lot of the sizes and weights and things like that. But, I will always say that North Vermilion kids will play 20 pounds heavier than what their actual weight is.
We've seen it, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I know that, we talk about this all the time when you get deep into the postseason. It's 1 week at a time, just like it is during the regular season, but you really have to cherish these moments. But as Grant said, Park Tudor has to come here, and it's a loud place to play. It's a lively place to play. What is that going to mean to be able to welcome them and have them come to your home field?
Yeah, the saying is, party at Gibson. Friday nights, it's party at Gibson Field. We're so fortunate to have this place and to have the opportunity to play in a facility like this, and the way that our fans show up, and it can be a challenge at times because they get so loud that we do a lot of verbal play calling onto the field, so that can be challenging. But it's also really challenging for the other team, and it's such a boost to our kids when they hear that crowd support. This is my 12th year here, and it's such a cool football community.
Yeah.
Coach, a couple of keys for your team Friday night.
You know what? I think it's probably ludicrous to say that you're going to stop Park Tudor from having success on offense. What you have to do is limit their success, and then in key moments, your defense has got to come up big. But more than that, offensively, we have to keep the ball out of their hands. We have to be able to, hem together some drives, and they have to end in points, because you can't leave anything on the field against Park Tudor, because they will score and they'll get up quick. So long drives, controlled drives that end in points. That's going to be really big Friday night.
Coach, I mean, just what would it mean for you guys, especially with this group, to get that win and bring back a sectional championship?
Well, they deserve that, but a lot of people deserve stuff that you never get. That's just how life is. But it'd be really cool to see their hard work pay off, and we talk a lot about playing for this community and representing this community, and it would be awesome to be able to deliver another sectional championship to Northern Vermilion County.
Well, regardless, win or lose, your program means a lot to this community. There's no doubt about it. And a lot to us. And so much so, we don't want to say goodbye yet. No. So we're going to pull out our random questions for Coach, our favorite part. And you're going to go first again, Coach.
Awesome. All right.
Let's go.
Best breakfast food.
Ooh.
Best breakfast
Everybody loves
food.
breakfast.
Yeah.
Do I have to go first?
Yep.
Yeah,
All right,
Unless you want a second.
No, I guess best breakfast food. I really like the Dutch baby pancakes up at La Peep in Indianapolis.
Okay.
It's like a thicker pancake. It's got a nice kind of vanilla and nutmegish kind of flavor. So that's probably my favorite.
Okay.
Nice.
I love chocolate chip waffles. I will always go for chocolate chip waffles, especially homemade ones. If you know how to do that, that's like the best.
Okay. I'm going to go a little more savory than sweet, and biscuits and gravy, like a good homemade biscuits and
hearty
gravy.
breakfast.
Yeah.
Bacon, egg, and cheese on toast. Maybe a little Frank's Red Hot on there, or jelly, bacon, egg, and cheese on toast.
Nice classic.
Make those before. That starts a football Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
Normally.
Get your protein in. All right, you go first. You
Next.
go next, Grant. Yep.
All right, wiggle these around. Let's see. Oh. What is your favorite holiday movie? It could be any holiday, Coach. So you take a second. Favorite holiday movie, any holiday. It's a tough one. There's really no wrong answer.
Yeah,
No, there isn't.
There isn't. Well, I guess first you need to pick your favorite holiday. I love all of them. I don't know. Christmas Vacation is something we watch every year.
Yep.
That's a great choice.
That would be mine as well. I mean, if you don't quote Christmas Vacation, what's wrong with your life?
Right.
And also, football season is a holiday for us, so as
Yeah.
we digress too, right?
Yeah, that's right. We could do football. Yeah. I would say Christmas is also my favorite holiday, and I would say I'm a classic. It's a Wonderful Life. I love It's a Wonderful Life.
Great answer. I was going to say It's a Wonderful Life. Or I'll also give a shout out to Elf. I can quote that movie
Okay,
like the back
yeah.
of my hand. So
A lot of good.
I like both of those.
I figured it would mostly be Christmas, but some people really like Halloween, like the horror movies and
good-
everything.
yeah.
Here, I don't want to lose my mic,
All
but
right,
here
let's
you
see.
go.
Let's see. Let me pick
Jack.
out a good one here. All right. Pass that over back.
Thanks,
Nicole.
Coach.
You're welcome.
All right. We got, what is the best way to win a sporting event? So there is some parentheses here, like a buzzer beater, a walk-off home run, walk-off field goal or something like in your case. So what do you think is the best way, to win a sporting event?
Oh, there's, so I'm thinking all the ones here and throughout, the last 12 years that, we've won in the last minute, touchdown, a touchdown throw, whatever it is, just scoring in the last few seconds of a game is always going to be tops for me.
Absolutely.
I can think of a state championship game that was pretty neat like that too.
It was, but I can see some of them going through my head. I can see us beating Park Heritage for a sectional championship with a toe tap
That's where we
catch
were.
from
I think we were here.
yeah, from Nick Myers over
Yep.
there in the end zone.
Oh,
And I
that
think
was
about
awesome.
Cody Friday night, going up over two guys and pulling it in and running for the touchdown. That's very vivid. I
Yeah.
love that question because that's some cool memories to have.
Oh, yeah.
There's not a wrong answer to that question.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, they're
when
all
you see
cool.
a team that puts a community, a town on its back to
Yeah.
win something like that, especially at the high school level,
Yeah.
and this is why we do sports, right?
Yeah. I would say switching it up a little bit to represent being a Hoosier with the basketball too. Like the Watt shot, like a good buzzer beater like that against a good team is always good. But yeah, those walk-offs, those are something special. That's
yeah,
for
I'll
sure.
go with like Nicole said, buzzer beater, like half court buzzer beater.
Yeah.
There was one in Indiana from half court to win a state championship. I think it was one of the Zeller boys that hit one.
Yeah, from Washington. Yeah.
So I would say that you can't beat that feeling. Yeah.
No. Just winning is good, right? We love to win. Okay. Here's a little not holiday movie, but what's your favorite movie?
This is a tough question.
It's got to be probably, and this is like it's a British film, but it's about a diamond robbery. It's called Snatch. It's a Guy Ritchie film, and it's got Brad Pitt as an Irish traveler. He's got this accent, like you can barely understand what he's saying. That one, or I've always enjoyed the movie 300 too, because it's just the style. It's kind of a comic book style. I like both of those.
Nice. I'd say Good Will Hunting. It's probably my favorite movie.
I'll go Star Wars Empire Strikes Back.
Nice.
Classic.
The best one.
Ghostbusters is mine. Bill Murray.
I love it.
Ghostbusters,
That's
probably my favorite
wonderful.
movie.
All right.
Finally, one important question. Will we see shorts Friday night? It's going to be warmer, Coach.
Got to.
Got to.
Yeah.
I feel a little like this is a weird look for me. You even got a hat on. I'm like so many layers. I didn't know what to expect, but you got to bring the shorts on Friday.
I genuinely do not like cold weather at all. But it's one of those tradition things.
Oh yeah,
so,
it's that grit.
When I'm finally done coaching football, I'm not going to miss shorts on Friday nights during the playoffs.
Wonderful.
Coach, you're a busy man, busy week. Thanks for taking some
thank
time
you.
to join us on this week's podcast. We can't wait for Friday.
Well, thank you guys for coming up. I appreciate everything you guys do for high school sports in the Wabash Valley, and it's always good to see you and hang out.
Northern Man Park Tudor Friday. We're back with more Endzone Podcast, a pair of Falcons with Jack right after this.
Welcome back to this week's Going to the Endzone Podcast. As you can see, we're here at North Vermillion. I'm now joined by a pair of Falcon seniors. We got quarterback Jerome White, running back Cody Tryon. Guys, thanks for coming on this week's show. I know you guys are busy preparing for the sectional championship right here on Friday night, but thanks for taking some time and joining us on this week's show.
Thanks for having us. We
Thank you.
appreciate it.
First question for you guys. I mean, I got to ask about your performance on Friday night. Here, 50-42 win. You had 334 passing yards, 5 touchdowns. You had 5 total touchdowns running and 4 receiving. I mean, just when you guys were rolling on offense like that, just how good of a feeling is that? I know you guys just watching that game back, just how good was it, to come up with that big performance when your team needed it most?
It's always great having players all around you to know, like, if I throw it somewhere, I know for a fact Cody's going to go all out trying to get the ball. So it's just always having so many people around you know, and they're going their best and trying their hardest every play of the game. So
everybody here in our community, our organization, we play football for each other. We play football for the community. So when we have a show out with a lightning delay and people are staying to support the team, it gives you that little extra edge to play for them and just go all out and win a football game.
It's awesome. Awesome. You guys are both seniors, obviously. I mean, we talked to you earlier this year on the podcast. Just how have both of you noticed this team's growth throughout the season? Obviously, you guys are a very different team than you were at the start of the season. You guys are playing great football, and you find yourselves, one win away from a sectional championship.
We a lot of practicing hard. We stay consistent through the week. Keep practicing really hard. It grows the team bonding together. Do some stuff after practice as a team. But our growth has been tremendous. I've been extremely happy with our football team, the way we've progressed through the football season.
I would say like what Cody said, pretty much bonding. Like every Tuesday, a group of us go out to eat, and Thursday. So team bonding has a lot to do with it, but also like everybody around just wanting to work. And from the beginning of the season, even starting in the summer, from now, it's a huge growth.
Two leaders on this team. It's your last year playing for North Vermillion. Just how cool is it to be on this run in this sectional? Winning some games, making a run in these playoffs, knowing that not only are you doing it in your last year, but you're also kind of teaching the younger guys on the team, kind of how to win and that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's really cool. We haven't been on this long of a run, my 4 years of being up here, so it's really awesome to play in this and teaching the young kids, what it takes to be a good football team, what it takes to make a run this far into the tournament. And so, yeah, I'm really excited. It's pretty cool.
I would say teaching the young kids like what it takes, like Cody said, but also like how good of a feeling it is to like be in a position that we are now. And yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's a great answer. I mean, just what would it, obviously you guys got the sectional championship against Park Tudor right here on Friday. You're going to have the home crowd supporting you. It's going to be great. I mean, just what would it mean for you guys to be able to, get that win and bring home a sectional championship here to North Vermillion? It hasn't been done in a little bit.
Yeah, it's been since 2018, I believe. It would feel really good. Park Tudor is a good football team, so we're going to have to play a good team, good game, like we always do. We're going to have to play a good game to win, and it'd feel great to bring this community another championship.
It'd be great, but it's going to be a tough one, but I think with everybody's full potential, we can come out and win it, just stay consistent the whole game. But like Cody said, like bring a trophy put a trophy in the trophy case for the community. So
what has it meant for you guys? Obviously, your careers are wrapping up here. I mean, just what has it meant to you guys playing for the Falcons these last 4 years?
It's meant a lot. I wouldn't want to play for anybody else. The community, the school, everything is just all the support that we get for all the hard work that we do. I wouldn't change it out for anything.
I wouldn't change it out for anything, like how loud the stands get all the time, just like last Friday when we can't hear plays coming in, like stuff like that. It's just like you wouldn't want to play for nobody else.
Cody, I asked you last time. I'm going to ask Jerome this time. All right, so game day routines. Do you got any game day routines, like, a song you have to listen to, pregame, postgame snack, something that you got to eat on game days?
I got to eat a lot of sodium and stuff like that so I don't cramp. But a game day song.
There you go.
Definitely got to be
Dreams and Nightmares, probably.
There you go. That's a classic answer. And for both of you guys, obviously, last week is any indication, you score a lot of touchdowns. Is there a go-to touchdown celebration that you guys have? We'll start with you, Cody.
Not really. It's we like to have fun, but it's all business until the game's over. It's score, get the extra point into the 2-point conversion, and maybe have a little bit of fun on the sideline. We don't really have a go-to we go to.
Same with Cody. We just give each other a little tap on the helmet, good job, but until after the game, it's like all business throughout the game, so we really don't do nothing until we win.
Well, guys, thanks for coming on this week's show. Congratulations on very successful high school football careers. We hope lasts a few more weeks. Best of luck on Friday. We look forward to covering you guys.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more Going to the Endzone podcast right after this.
Welcome back to this week's Going to the Endzone podcast. We're here at North Vermillion High School. Thanks to Coach Crabtree and the Para Falcons for having us this week. Guys, sectional championship night. This is what you wait all season for. 4 big games in the Valley. Terre Haute South going to Whiteland. Let's start in 5A with the Braves. Jack, it's a big one. Braves trying to do something they have not done since 2014.
You mentioned it, since 2014, and you could tell, obviously, how big that win meant. We heard from the Braves after that win on Friday night, Coach Herron, all those guys, they were so excited. And the way they won, they were down 10-7 in the fourth quarter. They go on that drive, that beautiful pass from Brady Wilson to A.J. Watkins.
Oh, yeah.
It was a great win for Terre Haute South. And I think they got a shot on Friday. I hope they can get it done. Obviously, we're all rooting for them here, and I think they can hang with anybody, especially offensively in the state. But the good news for Terre Haute South and Coach Aaron is they did it with defense on Friday night. And I think the defense is going to have to show up this week against Whiteland if they want to bring home the sectional championship.
Yeah, Grant, you've been covering the South for years, and you were obviously at that game. What kind of struck you as maybe different about this team? Because it was really impressive how they pulled that together.
It's hard to win a revenge game when you've been waiting all season to get another crack at your opponent. South is waiting all year after losing last year on the last play of the game. To do that, but like you said, to do it in an unconventional way, you get the defensive stand, you get the long touchdown pass, and you get another turnover. Trevor Branch had a big interception at the end. So I think the fact that South can do it in different ways will help them. It's always tough going on the road. South will be on the road Friday. Another team on the road Friday, Vincent's Lincoln. They have the shot in the arm. Of course, Xander Hunt is back for the Alice team, but it's always tough when you're going to Gibson Southern, one of the powerhouses in the state.
Yeah, he's back, and they haven't missed a beat. They've outscored their first 2 sectional opponents 117-0. So
is that good?
Yeah, that's pretty good. They haven't had much trouble, but Xander's looked good, and he hasn't missed a beat, and he's looked healthy. He's made plays with his legs, with his arms. That's good. They're going to need him at full strength against Gibson Southern. I saw Gibson Southern on Friday night against Washington. They're very good defensively. That's where they kind of hang their hat. Their offense is good, but defense is elite. And so it's going to be, strength versus strength, the Lincoln offense versus Gibson Southern's defense. I think it's going to be a close game. I think Lincoln has the team. They have the quarterback to pull it off. So I'm looking forward to watching that one.
All of our teams that are playing in sectional championship this week have been on the podcast this season. Just saying, another team that's no stranger to a podcast. Postseason football will be the Linton Miners at home. Key to be at the Roy, but against a very good Southmont team, Nicole.
Like you said, Grant, the Miners. We see them deep into the postseason most years, and I don't know, though. Southmont's a really good team, and they beat up on Cascade. Cascade looked really good against South Vermillion, so you kind of play those favors. But I think as long as Linton can stay strong on the things that they are always strong with, as long as Paul Oliver has a really good game, I think you're going to continue to see them. And, of course, we're rooting for them because, they're our team here in the Wabash Valley. But I think that they're going to have their work cut out for them with Southmont because Southmont is a really impressive team. And Cascade was really scrappy, and for Southmont to take them down, Linton's scrappy, but, they're going to have a good opponent. So cheering for the Miners, but hoping that Southmont gives them a good game to watch at least.
I think the Linton game against Greencastle on Friday helped prepare Linton for this kind of game, this scrappy game that you're going to need to, kind of maybe face some adversity because Linton was down in that second half. They came back. They did it with defense. Paul, he had 187 yards, 3 rushing touchdowns, but the play of the game was that interception. That kind of turned the game around. And so Linton, we've talked about how dominant they are year in and year out, but for them to face some adversity in the playoff round before this sectional championship, I think that's going to be good for Coach Oliver and his squad.
Yeah.
Last but not least in Indiana, we'll touch on Casey in just a sec, but how cool is it for the Falcons to be hosting? We've talked about it all show, hosting the sectional championship this week.
Oh my gosh. And we just had so much fun on this podcast today with Coach Crabtree and the guys. God's country, you really do feel like there's just something different happening up here with this program and just how much they love each other. And I really, again, we're rooting for all of our local teams. It's getting to that part where we can kind of vocally root for them because it's not 2 of our local teams. It's them facing off against teams we don't cover. So, Park Tudor, they're going to be a hard opponent. But this Falcon heart and this team and the community being here, coming to Gibson, I hope it's a party at Gibson on Friday.
That's what it's about, heart.
Yeah.
Coach Crabtree and the guys, they're kind of embracing that underdog role a little bit. There's nothing more dangerous than a team playing with nothing to lose. And they've already accomplished so much this season. They're 8-3. It's been one of their best seasons in a long time. And they got a chance to do something real special here Friday night. And like you said, we're all rooting for him.
And he'll have shorts on. So
shorts on. It's going to be nice weather. Last but not least, KZ wins our play of the night this week. They had the 69-yard touchdown pass. The Warriors 1-0 in the postseason. They got a tough one this week on the road.
They do have a tough one. They're facing 10-0 Greenfield, so it's an undefeated opponent on the road. But, talking to Coach Fricknick and those guys, I mean, they're going to be ready. They're not afraid of anybody in the state. I mean, Coach Fricknick said, when he talked to the team at the beginning of the season, they were not putting a ceiling on their success this year. They were talking state championship. That's where their mindset's been all year long. So I think, having that mindset and not being afraid of playing anybody in the state, despite what your record is, they're 9-1. They've had a great year. I think they feel like they deserve to be this far in the playoffs, and I'd give them a shot against anybody in the Illinois State playoffs.
Yeah, let's get some regional teams here.
Yeah. Can't wait to see what happens this weekend with high school football. For Jack, for Nicole, for our producers Luke and Kobe, thanks for watching this week's Going to the End Zone podcast. We'll see what happens Friday night.